Hey, folks. Let's talk a bit about a two-faced investigator. You might have heard his name. He was involved in the Karen Reed case. He is involved in the Sandra Birchmore case and also in the Brian Walshe case. And this is what stands out to me, because everything Trooper Guarino has done in the Karen Reed case and the Sandra Birchmore case, either he's a blithering moron who can barely function, the type that had corks on his fork to avoid stabbing out his eye until age 22, or he's simply just a really, really bad cop. And I think we got our answer to which one it is in the Brian Walshe case. The trial is now ongoing. A reminder, in the Karen Reed case, he basically did not have the ability to write a coherent report. He found absolutely nothing wrong with other people getting rid of their phones and submitting screenshots as evidence. It's that type. And in the Sandra Birchmore case, he was involved in the not finding 36,000 messages between Sandra Birchmore and her groomer/rapist, Matthew Farwell. And now, yesterday he was on the stand in the Brian Walshe case. And all of a sudden, let's just listen a bit.
Forensic copy of a device.
When we create a digital copy of the device, it's all the information that we're able to obtain from the device that we can work from, as to not use the device itself and change anything in it. So we always work from that copy to make sure that nothing's changed for, if we have to ever re-image it, or if the item's returned, we won't have the device in our hands.
How do you keep from changing the data on the original device when you're making a forensic copy?
We employ write blockers. Write is in like WRITE, writing. So we can't write to the device. It only writes from the device. So it's a one-way street. That way we can get the information and not change anything on the devices themselves.
And where is the original device kept after it has been forensically copied?
If the item was given on consent, we'll return it as soon as possible. If it's evidence, then it'll get tagged with an evidence number and placed into our evidence room.
Oh, really? Tagged with an evidence number and placed into the evidence room. Folks, I don't know if you remember this from the Karen Reed case, how they handled evidence, but they sure as hell, they had evidence that has been in certain officers' possession for days, weeks, and even months before they got handed over to be processed as evidence. But here, it appears like, he knows how to turn in evidence basically immediately. Isn't that strange? Isn't that strange?
So now I want to talk about the MacBook, the item number 3 that was labeled the gray MacBook. How did you make a forensic copy of the MacBook?
So for MacBooks, we can't use gray key, so we have to use I use Cellbrite Digital Collector.
Again, in the Karen Reed case, they also used the Celebrite, the digital collector, and all the Celebrite system of getting information out. But then they had to discredit it because of the 2:27 a.m. was long to die in the cold. Remember that? I wonder if they, in this case, will ever say something like, but it can't be relied on because he might have done this prior, and the web page and the things. And you think that happened
It's
here?
basically a write blocker that plugs into the MacBook itself, and we're able to do a live acquisition of the device to a separate hard drive, creating a copy of everything that's there.
So after you make a copy, then what do you do?
I place that onto our external storage device for the Apple system that we have.
Yeah, this is what should have been done to 6 or 7 phones in the Karen Reed case alone. The Alberts, the McCabe's, and the rest of the twats. That never happened. But here, it seems like he, and by proxy, the entire division doing this knows exactly how it's done. Isn't that strange? It is almost, I say that with the very irony quotation marks here over here. It is almost as if they knew what they were doing was wrong. Isn't that strange? Now, you can go over to Lawn and Crim or whatever and see the rest of his testimony. But essentially, what he's doing is semi-confidently just speaking out evidence that they collected in the proper way, stored in the proper way, nothing in the hidings or anything. Now, why would he be doing this in this case, but not the other cases? Can you guess? I will count down. Put your guesses in the comment section. But 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thin blue line. In the Sandra Birchmore case, in the Karen Reed case, the people who are actually suspects are cops. Here is just Brian Walshe, an idiot, who, by all accounts, innocent until proven guilty in the court of law, all the things, but I would be surprised if he's not convicted. Let's just say that. And I'm saying that as essentially pro-defense. But he's not a cop. Matthew Farwell, his twin brother, and other people in the Starow Police Department, cops, needed protection. All of a sudden, the same person who confidently sat on that stand now found nothing. In the Karen Reed case, they didn't even search for it and accepted screenshots. They didn't even ask them to hand in their phones until there was a court order. Way later. Thin blue line, folks. It seems like in Massachusetts, the thin blue line is an 8-line highway where they stop at nothing to protect other cops. All right, folks, that is what I had for you. Feel the Christmas spirit. And until the next stream or video, ho, 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 says Santa Claus.